Hey everyone, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Shanae. If you are new here, thank you so much for clicking on this video. If you're interested in learning a little bit more about us and our continued parenthood journey after infertility, please go ahead and click that subscribe button and that notification bell so you can get alerts when we post our new videos, which is every Sunday. So in today's video, I wanted to go over what it's been like as a first-time mom and the newborn challenges that I have come to learn over the last 3 months. So things that people kind of don't really tell you until you have a kid and find out for yourself. It's kind of what I've kind of run into. I got a lot of advice, and it was really good advice that I got prior to having Maverick. However, a lot of things I kind of learned as I went and was just like, well, shit, like, why didn't no one tell me this? Like, some things you gotta kind of figure out for yourself. But as far as the challenges that I've had, the first one, the biggest one, was breastfeeding. And I know a lot of people kind of go through this, and it can be a really hard struggle, especially during postpartum. And I am so grateful that I did not go through any bad postpartum challenges. Thank goodness that's not part of my story. But I know that can be it can be rough for a lot of other women. But as far as for me, the difficult thing, as far as it kind of started off with, after I gave birth, like when I was at the hospital, like they pressure you so much to breastfeed. And it's just like, there are other ways to feed your baby. Like, yeah, breast milk is very nutritious. It has all these like valuable nutrients and like benefits and all this other things, but like I feel like they should not pressure you as hard as they do at the hospital to breastfeed, because it's very overwhelming. Like, you're coming off all of these hormones after giving birth, and then like the first thing they want you to do, which is fine, is like they ask you, are you going to breastfeed? And you say yes, that's the plan. And then they're just like, well, you gotta do this. And then just like, oh, you want to make sure, like when I said, it was like, are you gonna breastfeed? It was like, I was like, that's the plan. It was like, good. Like, and then they just kept like pressuring me to like do it and like things like that. Like, I understand they want to like make sure he's gonna latch and everything like that, but like it was very overwhelming for me at the hospital trying to like do this thing. And I'm just like, and the funny thing is, like, it was more pressure on like Tim. Like, Tim was like really pressuring me too. It was just like, babe, you know, we have to do this, you have to pump, you have to do it. I'm just like, what the heck, man? Like, why are you pressuring me to do this? Like, why are they pressuring me to breastfeed when, you know, I might not be able to at the end of the day? And like, they're trying to make it seem, I felt like they made it seem like there's no other way, and that you were kind of looked down upon for using formula. Like, that's just how I felt personally. And like, Tim kind of added a lot of pressure on me too, because he was looking out for my best interest, like as far as like postpartum goes. Like, he was just like, well, you know, I really don't want you to get depressed. Like, I really don't want you to like miss out on this opportunity and this experience. Like, if you can't do it, I really don't want you to be upset. And I was just like, babe, I'm good. If he's fed and he's happy and he is comfortable, that is all I can ask for. Like, if he's fed and he knows, like, I know he's full, then I am good. Like, that was one of the biggest things too when I was breastfeeding. They made it like I was like, only, of course, you only give out like colostrum or whatever for the first couple of weeks, but like I couldn't really tell. One thing I didn't like about breastfeeding is like I can't tell if he's full or not, and he would be frustrated, I would be frustrated. Sorry, it's like something in my nose. he would be frustrated, I would be frustrated, and it was just like, we're both just sitting here looking crazy because I don't know how much you're getting. And like, they're telling me, oh, the colostrum is so many calories and he only needs a little bit. Well, a little bit, how much is a little bit? Because like I said, he's going crazy. I'm looking at him like, well, I fed you. Like, it was a whole thing. So switching to formula was not something that I was ashamed of, and it wasn't something that I felt like I was missing out breastfeeding at all. But that was probably the first challenge that I came upon having him, was that breastfeeding issue. And let me know in the comments below if you feel kind of the same way. But yeah, so breastfeeding was challenge number 1. Oh yeah? Okay. Hey, bud. Hi. You okay? So I would say the next thing that's been kind of a challenge is sleep training. I know you can't sleep train a newborn, but I think we kind of just went into it the wrong way. Like, Tim watched all these videos and did all this research and just came in with like, we're going to do this, this, and this. And then when those things wasn't happening and wasn't, going as planned, he panicked, and kind of had a whole meltdown as if, we weren't doing what we were supposed to do, and like, isn't working and things like that. And finally we kind of stepped back and just like, look, this is a newborn. We can't really sleep train a newborn. They're going to wake up when they want to wake up. They're going to be hungry when they're going to be hungry. So that was something we had to kind of readjust on and kind of give ourselves some grace. And finally just kind of roll with the punches and just roll with his schedule, and wasn't trying to put so much pressure. Hi, Babs. Wasn't trying to put so much pressure on sleep training. So I would kind of suggest that to new parents as well. Like, sleep training is great, I guess, after like 6 months, but like the newborn phase, like, they're just going to sleep when they want to sleep. They're going to wake up when they want to wake up. Just don't put too much pressure on yourself. Like, you're doing great. If the baby is fed, changed, and comfortable, you're doing everything that you're supposed to be doing. And then something that kind of surprised me a little bit with him. Surprised me with him because I talked to my pediatrician about this, and she was just like, I've never heard of this before in a newborn. She was like, it happens in toddlers, but she never heard of it in a newborn. But he has like little baby tears when he sleeps during the day, like naps. Like, he will like be full on crying and screaming in his sleep during the day. Like, he doesn't do it at night, thank God. But like, just when we put him down for like short naps and stuff, like, he has like this little baby tears, and it just breaks my heart. Like, I'll kind of let him go like a couple of times. Like, he'll like start to like cry a little bit, but when he gets like full on like screaming and crying and like whimpering, like, I feel so bad, and I have to like wake him up and like shake him. I'm like, baby, mommy's here, wake up. We have to like get him awake because it just breaks my heart. But yeah, we talked to the pediatrician about that, and she was just like, I've never heard about like that in like babies. Like, one thing that kind of frustrated us too, like, we kind of did some research on the internet too, but Dr. Google, you can't take it as a grain of salt. But we were looking on the internet, and it was just like, can babies have nightmares or night terrors? And everything that we read was like, babies don't dream. I'm like, that's bullshit. Like, it's the same thing that she said too. The pediatrician said to us as well. Was like, babies don't dream. I never really heard about that. Blah blah blah. I'm like, my child is dreaming, and something's coming after him. So you're gonna have to tell me what's what. And I was telling her what I was doing. She was like, well, that's the only thing I can really recommend is you just keep doing what you're doing. Just wake him up and comfort him and things like that. But I talked to my mom about it too. And luckily she was like, yeah, my brother did the same thing when he was a baby. I was like, okay, thank goodness. Like, I'm not crazy. Like, this is kind of not out of the blue. So, that was kind of new to me. I was kind of scared. It scared me for like the first couple of times. I'm like, what is going on? Like, what is coming after my child in his sleep? Like, I was not a fan. So if your baby starts to do that, like, it's perfectly normal. Just wake them up and kind of comfort them, and just you know, hold them close. But so that was something that kind of caught me off guard, and he still does it to this day. I kind of asked them, you know, when will he grow out of it? They really didn't say. Clearly, babies don't have nightmares, so they couldn't tell me. But my mom said that my brother did it for a short while, so I'll give it, you know, I'll keep an eye on it, and then if it gets to a point where, you know, we have to figure something out, like, we'll do that. And the last thing, here you go, Bubs. The last kind of challenge that kind of threw me for a loop was cradle cap. Never heard of it. Never knew what it was. Like, he started like shedding. I know newborns, like, what do you call it? Have like dry skin or whatever, and they like flake. But he was like, it got like really bad, like on his head. And I was like, what is going on? It's like all his, like, it was like flaky and like really dry. And every time like I change him, like we get him ready for the day or stuff like that, I'll kind of wipe him down and moisturize him really well. And also I moisturize his head. And it's just like all this like dead skin was like coming off. I'm like, what is going on here? It was like super like flaky. And I just, like, not knowing what it was, like, I kind of just shampooed his head and just like took a brush to it and like got all that skin off of it. And when I did, like, it took all of his hair off. Like, he was born with a full head of hair. And when when I went to like massage his head with the shampoo and the brush to take off all that dead skin, like, it took all his hair. It took my baby's hair off. But apparently there are like worse cases, and I'm glad that it only happened like it was only for like the first, actually, it started around like week 2 and 3. It hasn't come back since I did that last shampoo to get all of his hair off. But yeah, I never heard of cradle cap. Apparently it's a thing that some babies go through. Kind of just like dead skin that you kind of just take off. Just some people use like oil and things of that nature, and just kind of like massage their head, and it takes off all of that dead skin. I just used like baby shampoo and like a baby brush and kind of just massage his head all over, and it took off all of, I'm sorry Bubs, and it took off all of that skin, and it wasn't as bad. But I was super sad that it took all his hair off. Now he's looking like a 40-year-old baby. So I think that's pretty funny, his little receding hairline now. But it seems to be growing back pretty well, given, you know, how much it took off. It's definitely growing. You can't really tell, but it's definitely growing back a lot more than you know, I expected it to. But yeah, that is pretty much all of the kind of foreseeable challenges that I kind of came upon with, you know, the first 12 weeks of being a new mom. Those are the things that kind of hit me in the face. And I'm living and learning. I feel great. I'm doing really well. Baby's doing really well. We're really kind of getting into the groove of things now. The next challenge is going to be daycare. So we are not looking forward to that, as far as all the germs that he'll bring home and be sick all the time. But I'm going to be really sad giving him away for, 8 hours out of the day. But it has to be done. Moms do it all the time. If I could stay home, I would, but I can't. But yeah, we are doing great. We are looking forward to a lot of things next year with him getting bigger that we couldn't do this year. So we got a lot of things, a lot of milestones that we're going to check off next year, and we're really excited. Like, being a mom is the most fulfilling thing that I think I've ever done in my entire life. I think I'm doing a pretty good job. My husband was just like, "You're killing it. Like, you're doing such a great job." Like, I was like, I would hope so. Like, I kind of put my body through it to get to this point. So I would hope I would be a good mom. That would be really crappy if, like I said, luckily I didn't have, like, my body didn't go through that postpartum negatively. That would have broke my heart, because, you know, me wanting to be a mom for so long and then having that hormonal shift, and just be so disconnected from him, that would have been awful, because I couldn't get that time back. Like, being a first-time mom after infertility, like, and being robbed of that time due to, you know, something that I had no control over, looking back, would probably make me more depressed. So I'm so thankful to God that I did not have to go through that, and I'm really sorry for women who do. It's not something that I would wish on my worst enemy. Postpartum is no joke, and we definitely need a lot more awareness and support with our health system for women who go through it. A 10-minute postpartum appointment is not going to cure women of, you know, their disease. So that's something we have to work on as a society, but I'm glad I didn't have to go down that path. But yeah, those are the few challenges that I had to live and learn. Let me know in the comments below what challenges you guys had kind of experienced during your first 12 weeks of being a mom. I would love to hear it and kind of compare and contrast. And if you have some upcoming challenges that I should look out for, that would be helpful too. But yeah, until then, we look forward to seeing you guys in our next video. Go ahead and click subscribe and click the notification bell to get notifications on our next video, and we will see you guys